Hello, so I'm gonna do like a combat-oriented video for a change. Like in Guild War, my guild actually lost today's Guild War. We would have won, we should have won. However, for some reason, our guild had 3 misses on this team in a Citadel. It was pretty much, it was these heroes I checked, I had the same patrons they had. This is a super easy win. Like, if I had an attack left, like, this is an easy win. I just used Trinity Twins, full auto, no special, don't need a manual or anything. This is just super easy. You just hit battle, boom, auto. It's an easy win. Don't even have to think about it. This is, like I said, I mean, Trinity Twins just blows that team out. No problem, right? The problem is the person who attacked it, they used... let's see. They used this line. They used a twins line. They used it twice. And they failed both times. They got 11 points first time and goose eggs the second time. Right? You might think, oh, that's almost the same line, except they used Astaroth as the main tank. And well, Astaroth is honestly not a tank. Like, you should not be using him as a tank, ever. Because he's honestly garbage. Like, far as tanks go, he's garbage tier. Like, there's a case to be made. He's, like I said, he's arguably the worst tank. I mean, I'd say Ziri's probably worse, but here's what happens when you use Astaroth on this line. Because Astaroth does no damage, doesn't really do anything to actually benefit your team, has no ability, like I said, or anything, like, doesn't mitigate damage particularly well. I mean, ended up being a full rout. There was 4 heroes left standing on the other team. First, like I said, Aurora, total rout. With Astaroth, you're the one who gets totally wrecked. Like, there were still 4 heroes standing on the other team. Major loss. Now, let's try some of these other tanks. Like, now, if there are other tanks that probably won't do too well with the same line here. We're, like I said, not going to do anything special here. See, actually, you probably want him here. So most tanks going to want the Oliver patron. With Aurora, I usually put Oliver on Sebastian, but we'll do it this way here. So we'll do Luther here. Let's see if this goes any better. We had 4 heroes still standing with the Astaroth line. Let's see if this one does any better. Alright. Well, we just have 2 heroes standing. We're just doing full auto here. Like in manual, I could probably finish this off in manual with Celeste here. If I kept her in dark form, I could probably pull out the win. Like, that Nebula's healing a lot here. Wow. So there could be a timeout. Like, if I did manual, this probably is a win if you want to manual this, but only 2 heroes standing, so that was at least an improvement over Astaroth. Not as good as Aurora, though. Aurora, like I said, best tank in the game. I say this a lot, because Aurora's really good. But we'll try Ziri. Ziri, who I say is probably the worst tank in the game. We'll see if she can get a win here. Oh, wait, no. I have it to put Oliver on Sebastian, since I usually use Aurora. So, Oliver's free. But wrong pet there. What did I do? I'm like, that's not right, pet. Let's do this pet. Okay. So let's try Ziri. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's actually a win. Wow. Ziri actually got a win here. So Ziri wins. So even Ziri is able to get a win on that. And that's pretty impressive, considering Ziri kind of sucks, but hey, maybe she's better than Astaroth these days. Maybe she's better than Astaroth these days, which is saying a lot. Though I do think Astaroth does have a role that is useful. I wouldn't recommend him like as an investment, but I will talk about that towards the end of this video. I'll talk about like a role where Astaroth can be useful. I mean, obviously Galahad, no problem here. I said I kind of expected Galahad to do well. A Cleaver. We'll try Cleaver. Ah, not Daredevil. Alright. Yeah, no, we're using the same patrons on Krista, Celeste, and Lars in all these fights. The only one that we've changed is like the tank, because Aurora had Kayn patron. Rest of them. Oh wow, looks like Cleaver's losing here. Okay, Cleaver did about as well as Astaroth there. Though he did do more damage, so Cleaver, not really, not to write home about. So Cleaver also struggled there. I was actually surprised Ziri did as well as she did, but wasn't like a rout. I mean, it wasn't as good as Aurora. Like, Aurora probably had the best one. Let's see. Galahad also did really good. Aurora and Galahad. Choppa. We haven't tried Choppa. Chaba. Well, this would probably could go either way. But Astaroth for sure has no chance against this team, even though it seems like they would. Alright. Come on, Chaba. Oh, we're gonna time out here. This is gonna be a timeout. So Chaba doesn't get it. Come on, Chaba. Just digest him faster. So Chaba's a lose. We're 7 tanks. Let's see. Oh, Corvus. Corvus will probably be a route. Corvus probably do as well as Galahad and Aurora. Corvus is really good versus Kira, so this should be a real easy win here. Yeah, no, I think we want Oliver on Corvus there. Oh, no, we need to try Rufus. That's the only thing we haven't tried. Oh yeah, no, Corvus doing pretty good here. Alright, so then Rufus. Let's try Rufus. He's better than Astaroth. Like, he's more of a defensive hero. He's not quite as useful as attack unless you're attacking, like, into Iris, but this will probably be fine. He'll probably do fine here. He'll do good against Celeste here. Oh, wow, no. Rufus. That's what I say about Rufus. Not really an attacker, so just 4 tanks actually win. We got wins with Corvus, Galahad, Ziri, and Aurora. Like, Ziri kind of sucks, but I guess she was okay here. Boom. So those are the tanks. Let's see who did the fastest. This one was really fast. Corvus was really fast. Corvus is pretty good against Kira in particular. Because Corvus was 143, I remember that one. Oh, 140, yeah, so 135, 135, so same as Corvus. 135 Corvus, how fast is Ziri? I think Ziri is a bit slower. Oh yeah, no, Ziri's a lot slower. Took us 5 more seconds. This Galahad. Alright, second faster than Ziri. Again, if we reran these tests, there would probably be some variance, because there are some randomness in this game. But this again was 135 when we did it there, so... yeah, 135. So that's the tank. So Corvus and Aurora did the fastest. Let's try some of the non-tanks now. Let's try Anvari, who's kind of like the next go-to tank. Let's try Anvari. Yeah, no, so far, like, Astaroth had pretty much, like, the worst, like, result. He had four heroes left. I think Luther also... who has it? One of the other ones had 4 heroes left. Is it Rufus? Or is it Chaba? I can't... no, Chaba had 1 hero left. But Astaroth pretty much had the worst result so far. The Astaroth team, actually, I think, just outright died. So Anvari is doing pretty well. 133. Wow, that's faster than Ziri or Galahad. So Anvari here is 3rd. Ishmael, we could probably try Ishmael here. Ishmael probably works really well here these days. Bet you Ishmael would just help Rex's team. Bet you Ishmael works really well. Maybe not. Maybe Ishmael's not. Oh. Nope, we actually get a win. So, he didn't survive the fight, but we got a win, so... that puts him in 6th place there. Because I think there's like 120 something left. We could double check it. Yeah. 124, so 6th place. Let's try Marcus. No, Marcus. Marcus ain't it. He did better than Astaroth, but this is a loss here. Marcus ain't it. What else would it be? What other hero I was thinking of? Oh, I had Alvanor. That's one we should try. Oh, we should try Dante too. We'll try Alvanor, then we'll try Dante, and then we'll probably wrap this video up because we'll have like, what, 13 fights, 14 fights at that point? Oh, yep, Alvanor. Look at that. Alvanor was really good there. 134. That puts him third place there. Alvanor. There you go. And I don't even think Alvanor's that great of a hero, but he's better than Astaroth for main tank. Oh yeah, Dante. That's who we're gonna do. Dante. This one I'm sure will be a win. Dante's pretty decent. We probably want Oliver here. Look at that. Dante was the fastest. He beat all the actual tanks. But yeah, no, I think that's a good conclusion though, that investing is to Astaroth. Astaroth is a very poor investment for a tank because there's literally, I mean, pretty much everybody, like this was like probably the worst result. Like 4 heroes were alive and this whole team loses. Like not only were 4 heroes alive, you actually outright get destroyed in record time. Like 120, you get destroyed at 127. That was the worst result of them all. Astaroth, this was the worst result of them all, leading this team with Astaroth. Every other hero, like if they didn't get a win, they at least did better than Astaroth, which is pretty damning. And this one doesn't even have Martha. Like Martha teams, Astaroth will lose against Martha too because he can't break a teapot. That's where heroes like Cleaver or Luther can shine more. Dante might have more trouble against Teapot. It's part of why I say Aurora is just like very versatile. Will help you get a win against the largest number of teams, but I tell you Aurora's must have. But yeah, no, Astaroth though, please don't invest in him. He is what we call a noob trap. He is not good for a main tank. There is a role for Astaroth, and that is if you want to use him as like a support hero. That's generally the main role for Astaroth, is you'd put him behind a different tank. Like you might main tank with Aurora, or you maybe have, actually Galahad can't work Cleaver, or a Corvus. Like Astaroth is okay in a support role, because he can help mitigate that damage from the main tank to help him live longer, but we also have Aiden now, who can also do that same role, and arguably he might be better at it. He also has that kind of tank support role to help mitigate damage off the main tank, but Astaroth, if he has... Right, his ult is garbage. This ult right here, Flame Veil is a garbage ability, does almost nothing. His Demon's Allegiance, this ends up killing himself faster. If he's main tanking, he just dies extra fast with this. If he's in a support role, if you have somebody else tanking, this ability has some merit, because it helps reduce the damage on your main tank. But there's also Aiden, who has this one right here, Savage Mutual Bombs, fire this ally. This helps, like I said, mitigate, plus he has self-regen. So this actually probably helps. I'd say this probably works better than Astaroth now. Plus, but it's similar to how that one works. It's not quite the same, but I think Aiden's an overall better hero than Astaroth. So there's that. Astaroth also has the res ability for certain teams. This might be good, and again, in a secondary role. Like if you really need to force through, like you don't have to bring in Sebastian, so you have an open spot. They don't have any control heroes on. Like I have brought in Astaroth a couple times just to have that last word as a backup, but never as a main tank. Usually always a second tank, or a really support role. Like that's really his role. Like is he plays a support hero, not a tank. Like please don't invest in him your tank. If you want a tank, Aurora is gonna be your best overall tank. Like for like new player, like she should always be pretty much your first tank. I'd say she's a must-have hero. I'd say she's the third best hero in the game after Sebastian and Celeste. After that, you want to fill out your roster. You can add like some of these other heroes. Dante's not bad. For like a secondary hero, I wouldn't main tank with him because he loses to Aurora, and Aurora's really common because of how good she is. He also loses to like some other heroes like pretty easily, but he is pretty versatile too. But I mean, he's not a replacement for an actual tank. He's better than Astaroth though. If you have a choice between Dante and Astaroth, Dante's a better tank. The other thing you could do, like if rather than tanking with Astaroth, is that you could actually, rather than using, like I said, if you're using this, like honestly, Krista's kind of tanky. She's better. She's a better tank than Astaroth on her own. Like you could just use Krista as your tank, and then open up, and then you have another, and then you have a spot for another support. Like you could put Martha here. You could put Thea, Maya. Maybe not Maya. Maya sits up front, I think. Yeah, Maya would sit up front. But you could put Thea here. You could probably put Jorgen here. You know, it's like all these would probably do better than Astaroth. Like, we try this here. Guess we want that here. We'll put this here. Like, these are all probably going to be heard. This probably work better than Astaroth too. Just running Krista's tank and then putting just another support hero there. No, maybe not. But we could try some supports, other supports now with Krista's tank. Like, but it wasn't any worse than Astaroth. Astaroth was pretty bad, so you know, it's just like there's just a lot more here. But this one, we'll try Aiden here. As we were talking about him, let's do Aiden. Oh yeah, see Aiden, there you go. So that's also better than Astaroth, just running Krista's tank, running more supports. Helios, well, they don't really have Sebastian there, so maybe he wouldn't be as good, but Helios could be a good hero. We could probably run Fafnir, we could probably run Peppy. There's all kinds here. We could run another DPS, potentially. Like, oh, we could run Orion. Bet you we could just run Orion and win that way. Orion's pretty good. Sure. That works fine. Could also do Chorus. Yeah, there you go. Could just run another DPS. Like, still better than running Astaroth. That's running Astaroth. Just don't do it, man. Astaroth, he's not a tank. Don't do it. Anyway, I did a video about Astaroth, like, I think about a year or so ago, that again, kind of reiterating this, but because my guild lost war today, because they had 3 fells on this exact line, because somebody attacked him with this line, twice, I thought it'd be good, this is a good reminder that Astaroth kind of sucks, and you really should not be relying on him. You should not be using him as a tank. Maybe in Grand Arena or Clash as like a 3rd string team if you don't have anything else, but I wouldn't invest in him. Like, investing in him actively harms your guild, holds you back. I mean, all those resources you put into Astaroth would be way better spent on Aurora, or Andvari, or Corvus, or Rufus, or really just anybody. Like, so please, just please don't invest in Astaroth. Yeah, no, if you want to see my last video about Astaroth, you can check that out below. Thank you for watching.